Well, my friends, I started my next skein. I did quite a bit of knitting. Let's see. Can you see? Got my awesome little glittery. Oh, can you see it? It's glittery. This is from Shelly. Shelly Can made these cute little progress markers. This one's on like the little hook. It's more for crochet, I guess, but it works too. So I marked that's the spot where I split spliced the skeins together and started knitting with the new skein. So I should be able to tell just how much knitting I can get out of the skein. And this is how much I have left. I'm gonna guess it's about half. Not quite sure. It might be more like 30 out of the 50 grams. But I got a lot of knitting done, and actually I have been using, there it is. This is another one of my favorite tools. This is the little row counter, but it's a round counter actually. It's really meant for a circular needle. And I've done 36 rounds. You can see George in the background. 36 rounds since I started the new skein. So, and that's about 5 inches. I'm getting about 7 rows to the inch. So that means I can get at least 10 inches out of this skein, which is great. And then I will have to do the math of how many rounds that is, and how many stitches, and then I can know exactly how many stitches I can get out of a skein. So then I can be sure that I can get long enough sleeves for what I'm looking for, and a long enough body. So I have, let's see, I have 2 more skeins here. So presumably I should be able to get the sleeves out of one and the bottom ribbing for the body out of the other. And I'll have some left over for the roll neck, which will be up at the top. So that's my excitement. So remember, I'll go back and pick up the stitches from my provisional cast on and do a roll neck. And the reason I'm doing that is because I find that I can bind off more loosely and more gently than I can cast on. I can control the bind off better. So, which we want for the stretchy roll neck. We want it to be as flexible as possible. And I just have found that if I cast on and try and do a roll neck from the top down, it just ends up being a little too tight, not what I'm looking for. So yeah, from now on, it's just knitting until I finish up this skein. And that'll be knit, and then we'll see how long that is. I had about 1.5 inches or 2 inches before. I don't know if I can show you from this angle. Let's see. Oh, all right, here we go. So there's the point where I started the new skein, and yeah, that's about 2 inches above it. So that could give me at least like 12 inches, and then I would switch into the ribbing. And I want a fairly deep 3 or 4 inches of ribbing at the bottom. I think it'll be 2x2. It might be 4x4. I don't want it to pull in too much. So that's the only thing. That's why I'm considering the 4x4, or even maybe a 3x3, but that I'd have to check my number of stitches to make sure. I mean, you can obviously adjust that easily by adding a couple or taking a couple away as needed when it comes time to do the ribbing. I want a ribbing that doesn't pull in too much, but that keeps the fabric from rolling. And so that's why obviously I wouldn't do just stockinette at the bottom. I don't want garter stitch for this one. I think a rib would look nice. But the more stitches, the more stitches in your knits and purls, the more it lays sort of flat. A 1x1 ribbing is the most flexible and stretchy, and squinches up tightest. 2x2 less so. 3x3 or 4x4 definitely more spread out and just more smooth, which is what I will be looking for. So that's the story from here. I got a lot of knitting done today. It's just knitting around and around and around. So I've actually been reading. I highly recommend, if you like historical fiction, Dorothy Dunnet's series. This is the last book of the Lyman Chronicles, and it's so good. I'm gonna cry when it's over. But I highly recommend anything by Dorothy Dunnett. She's amazing. So it's a short one from me tonight. I'm going to get back to knitting now for a bit, and I hope you are having fun knitting whatever you're knitting. So from here on out, a little bit, it's going to be a little boring because it's mostly stockinette for me. So I'll see what else I can talk about when I check in every day. So that's my progress here. As you can see, I'll hold it back a little. As you can see, it's like becoming, a proper sweater. So I'm excited. Can't wait to cast off the bottom ribbing. But that'll be at least a few more days. So thanks so much for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. Bye.